Welcome to the Pego Show, and of course, it is interview time. I am delighted to welcome on somebody who, and I just mentioned it before we start recording, I haven't seen in 11 years, okay? And it might be to the day almost as well, okay? This is an incredible woman, okay? She is a female health and transformation coach, but she's also one of the most inspirational and motivational people that you are ever going to see, okay? This is Shannon Coghlan, and Shannon, I am so happy to say hello to you.
You do, as I said, thanks so much for having me on, and what an introduction.
I tried my best, like,
Thank
you know
you
what I mean?
so much.
So it is. But no, but it is like, and like the reason why I say you're inspirational and you're motivational is because all you have to do is go onto your Instagram page. Okay. Shan underscore shaped by Shan. Okay.
Yeah.
And like I said it in the title there, it says on Instagram, you are a female. Now, I'm sure, like, if some bloke wanted some help, like me, you'd probably give it, like,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Yeah.
100%, yeah.
But like, you're a health and transformation coach, and all the content you have is incredible. It's your stories, it's other people's stories. So I suppose the obvious question to start off with is, where did this all come from? I know you used to work in the gym in Newry,
Yeah.
didn't you?
Yeah, so it's a bit of a long story. I'll keep it as concise as possible. So I originally went to St Mary's Teaching College in Belfast, did my 4 years teaching, and then straight after university came out to Qatar. Just at the time, most people were coming out here teaching, and it was a bit different experience. So came out here, did that for 3-4 years, and then I was always into kind of sports and fitness and things like that. Started the usual, like losing a bit of weight myself, getting
Yeah.
into following all the Instagram huns, wanting to get into shape. And then I decided I wanted to do my own PT qualification. So did that 2017, decided that this was the next thing, like this is what I wanted to do. So I wanted a break from teaching. I left Qatar and went to Australia with a girl that I knew from here. Had a few like online clients, more just friends and things, that helping them out with their nutrition and things. And then COVID hit. So I ended up going back to Newry in March 2020. And there and then I made a promise to myself that I wasn't going back teaching. I was like, right, that's it. Like you've left it. You can either kind of stay comfortable and go back teaching, which I knew I didn't want to do long term. It wasn't, I mean, it was secure, it was stable. I didn't hate it, but it just
wasn't your thing. You didn't want to do it.
As easy as it sounds, it wasn't my passion.
Good
so
move.
like
like that.
Went back to Newry, back to mum and dad. And I think at the time we were all a bit naive. We thought, COVID was going to last a few weeks. So my boyfriend is actually still here in Qatar. So I was like, it's fine. I'll be back in a few weeks. It's fine. So a job offer came out. My auntie actually sent it to me for a PR gym in Newry, and I was like, this is it, this is the opportunity. So went, got like a year or more kind of experience on the gym floor, and as soon as I went in, I absolutely loved it. I just built up some clients. I held, if anyone was like an OG back in the day, we did the 8-week boot camps and challenges and things, and just loved the connection I had with the clients. Then obviously COVID, I think there was a second, whatever lockdown it was, third, I can't remember. And we were all at home, and I decided that, more so for me, because I was just, I think like everyone besides myself in the house, started doing live Zoom classes in my living room for like, I think it was maybe 15, 16 weeks, 2 classes a day, one in the morning before people went to work or got up for work.
Brilliant.
And then one in the evening. And yeah, they were all free. And like that, I just getting people moving and kind of building that relationship with the girls. Like, that's what I kind of love. And that's a big part of my coaching now, is that kind of community feel with all of the girls. But yeah, just then went from there. I came back to Qatar, decided to just go kind of all in on my online coaching, have my few PT clients here, and yeah, that's kind of where it is now.
So like, I suppose in a sense, in a kind of weird fucked up kind of way, that like COVID obviously nearly kind of helped in a sense that like it really drove you in the direction that you knew you wanted to go in anyway, but it nearly helped you to, it gave you a kick in the arse to nearly say, right, go
massively.
Get this done.
Yeah, it was one of those. And I think like obviously COVID was so devastating for so many people, but for me it was almost a blessing in disguise, because if it hadn't have happened, I probably would have stayed in Australia for the year. I was just doing, little jobs here and there. I didn't want to teach. I knew that. I would have said there, I probably just would have come back to Qatar to Tom, who's here, just and got another teaching job, maybe just continue doing the side. So yeah, it did. It gave me the kick to do it, and gave me, I think, like a lot of people, though, gave them the realization of, okay, what do I actually want to do? Because so many people were, you know, left out of work. So many people had the time to kind of think and enjoy the time for themselves, I think, as well. So yeah, it definitely was for me a blessing in disguise and gave me, as you said, the kick up the ass to
and like that, like I think probably I was maybe the same. Like the first, now it's hard to remember how COVID went in regards to lockdowns and shit, right? But I just know there was about 3 years of my life missing. Okay. But the one good thing was my son was born in the middle of one of them, and again, I have no idea which one, right? But I think it was like the first year was spent with me walking a lot, as in just getting out of the house and walking around on my own, kind of, you know what I mean? Because nobody was around, and it involved me then listening to loads of podcasts, which I had never done before. I'd never in my life listened to a podcast, right? And then that made me want to set up one, and then obviously before this is brand new. This show, I had 2 years with my best friend doing another show, and like that was something then during COVID that made me like, I really want to do this. Like, this is something that I think I can, and it's why I set up this second show as well, is because I think, I mean, it can do a lot of good. You know what I mean? So it can. But like, you on Instagram have 2,837 followers. How can I get like even 1,000 followers, right? Like, I'm not going to power putting videos up of me going to the gym, because that will not raise my followers if I have pictures of me in the gym. And like, you never know. And then you have like 1,300 of them on Facebook. So like, that's a lot of followers. You said like the clients that you had through Zoom, and then obviously like face-to-face clients that you have now over there and that. Like how is it to feel for you as just a girl from down the road to me, basically, right? Helping so many people. Like, it has to give you a really good feeling. Like, it has to be so good.
Yeah, it definitely does. And I think this is something that, especially in the coaching space, and I was just talking about this earlier, you kind of forget how much impact sometimes you actually have, because we're always, and it's like everyone, you're always, you know, wanting to do more, and you're wanting to, whether it be in business or impact more people. I want to help more, I want to earn more, and everyone's the same. You always hit a goal and then you want to keep going. But it's when you take that step back and you think, from when I started, even if I look back to the, you know, the free Zoom classes, like how many girls have I impacted from then? And even how much I've grown as a person and as a business from then, it's really important, I think, for everything to just look back and say. So yeah, like when you do look back, and when I get the messages from even girls who are with me maybe, you know, a few years back, a few weeks back, and they're still maybe continuing, and they're still, you know, doing the little things that I've taught them. It's like that's the feeling that I never got with teaching. Brilliant. And that's what I get now. So yeah, it's incredible. It really, really is.
Well, I'll tell you what, let's look back a little bit further, right? So me and you, very briefly, walk together.
Now the juicy stuff.
The juicy stuff. Well, normally something related to Vodafone is juicy, okay? But yeah, so me and you literally got to know each other kind of briefly back in, as we found out before this, 11 years ago. And the reason I knew it was 11 years, because it was a few months before I got married. So it did. So yeah, like we walked in Vodafone, and like, what was like any memories from back then?
Literally, I think it was, if I remember correctly, I think I was going to Ibiza. I remember the call center having an advertisement. Everyone said, "Oh, if you just do the training, you get paid, and then you can leave." And I was like, "This is me sorted." But the job worked out ideal, because obviously at the time the Newry office wasn't ready, wasn't that the way of it?
Yeah, and a load of yous came down to Dundalk or something.
So it was, you know what? I absolutely loved it, because we got the bus every morning, we sat and had the crack. I went to the marshes, you know, at lunchtime, and shopping. Like, it wasn't the worst. It really wasn't. I loved it. And sure, chatting on the phone. Ideal for me.
It's not exactly like the hardest thing to do in the world, so it's not like just chatting on the phone, it's not.
It was great crack as well. Like, we were just saying, there was so many of us. It was good crack. Those were the days.
I know. God, the way, like, hey, Jesus, we did plenty of stuff back then that we certainly couldn't be doing now. Like, so it is. So let's give me all the followers you have. Is there any, like, obviously when you do something like this, there's always certain moments, there's always certain memories or certain people. Now, I don't mean names or anything like that, but like, have you any, like, say, like, story or like a success story, rather, shall I say, that always sticks in your mind for somebody who, like, say, maybe wasn't sure, you know, like, because obviously it's a nervous thing as well. Like, I'm sure when people contact you for the first time, they want help. You know what I mean? They're doing the first thing, which is the hardest thing to do, which is ask for help. You know what I mean? Like how do you, I suppose, before we talk about success stories, how do you make sure somebody feels comfortable straight away when they reach out to you for the first time? Like, is it a case that I know on the link tree, I was looking at it there, like you do obviously like, let me just get this up here in front of me. Like you have like a free 7-day Kickstart program. There's obviously you book a consult call, and then there's the free 4-week shape up guide. So is that all just ways of kind of getting people to, you know what I mean, kind of feel comfortable coming on board?
Yeah, it is. It's getting to feel comfortable, but also I genuinely want to give out as much kind of free advice and stuff as I can as well. So like we all know, coaching is in some respect a luxury as well. Like not everybody is able to afford it maybe right now. So being able to provide those resources to people to just help them in some way is definitely something. And I think too, I like to think that I'm quite authentic in my stories and when I'm chatting to people, and kind of what you see is what you get. And that's something that people will come through on my application form. Like, why do you want to work with Shannon? She seems like down to earth. Like I can really relate to her. And I think that's so important with Instagram in general and social media. You see people, especially in the fitness industry, they'll put up their stories and they put up, it's a highlight reel. Let's be honest, we all put up our highlights. Yeah. But I just think that kind of having that authenticness is really, really important. And what I like when people come on for a consultation call with me, I say to them first off, like, this is not an interrogation. Like it's the same as a podcast. Like we're on the same side here. And obviously the majority of girls and women that I work with, yes, they all, as you said, like they want help because whether it be, they're struggling with food, they're struggling with body confidence, which is obviously a big one. That's quite a vulnerable place to be in. So it's me and them against the problem. It's not me against them and
exactly.
saying, and it's very much, I tell them, like, I'm going to meet you where you are. And that's another thing in the industry at the minute. Like, obviously, a lot of the fitness industry is bodybuilders as well.
It is like,
yeah, and that's where the issue is, because although I also compete, that's not really a part of my coaching, so that's my hobby, and that's what I, like challenging myself with. But I think there's the gap there when bodybuilders try to treat their clients like bodybuilders, and
it's not what they're looking for.
It's being relatable and kind of having that compassion as well to be able to understand them and direct them in the way they need to be and give them that support that they need. So
and like as you said there, like the stuff you put out, like you are like the one thing I was always told setting up podcasts and having content and stuff like that is you just got to be consistent. You can't, you know what I mean? That's always the key. You have to be consistent. Now, like there's consistent and then there's just being bang on accurate like all the time, right? And you are smashing that, like, you know what I mean? Because there's no repetitiveness. You know what I mean? It's not like you've ran out of stuff to say to help people and you're like going back on something, or they'll forget what I said 3 months ago, so I'll just say it again. Like, you know what I mean? It's not like that. And I think that's important as well, because for somebody who's been there for 3 months or somebody who's been there for 3 days, they know that they can, you know, I mean, obviously you can go and look at videos on Instagram. You know what I mean? You can get all that kind of help that was previously there. But like that's the thing though as well. As I was going to ask you about success stories and that, like, have you won? Because anybody who teaches, right? Like I'm a football coach, right? And like I've had moments where my players might have done something fucking magical once or twice. Like there has to be a memory for you of something that you're just like, that's why I do it. Right there. That's it.
There's a few, to be honest. There's one actually. I have a client who's still with me at the minute, and when she came on with me first, she had the consult call. Her sister was actually coaching with me at the time, and she came on and she said, I don't want anyone to know I'm doing this. I'm not even going to tell my sister. She's like, please don't share anything. Like, this is just for me. She's 2 kids. She's like, it's just time, I want to put some investment into myself, work on myself. Her confidence was low. Her self-confidence was low. Didn't really have any. She had goals, but she didn't think that she would ever get them, and they weren't necessarily physique goals. She had a goal to change career, to actually apply to be as part of the fire service, and she was like, that's never going to happen. Like, people actually laugh at me when I say I want to do it. But
it's good to have that type of a goal. It's not just like, hey, I want you to make me skinny. You know what I mean? I want you. You know what I mean? That's nice to have that side of it.
Exactly. And that's the thing about my coaching. It's yes, okay, you know, we're learning all these new habits and we're getting you to that place. But along the way, like the confidence that you're going to develop and that kind of, as I said, like it's unlocking your potential and showing you what you're capable of.
Yeah.
But she now the progress that she's made, she's sharing her stories on Instagram.
Brilliant.
She's the person now that some of my clients, I'm like, if you have any excuses, go to this client because she has 2 kids. She's smashing it. She now is planning on making the move. She's going for the training now in 6 months. We're getting her ready for that. Yeah, so like that, like see, just and I had an in-person meet. I'm actually in Dundalk. I had an in-person event with some of the girls when I was home.
Oh, brilliant.
And, it was just like some of them, I was even taken aback. I got them just to, you know, we had a bit of a mindset session and then we did a bit of training and things like that. And the feedback just from some of the girls, that as I said, that you don't really realize how much of an impact you can actually have. Like one of the girls was saying she also is a recent new mum, and she was saying she never, you know, took the time for herself or focused on herself. She was always doing things for other people, and I feel like that's always sometimes the case with females, especially. Especially when you have kids, you're always giving your time to other people, and you can just end up draining yourself. But she just said, like, oh, she said, my check-in calls with you every week, like that's my time and my time in the gym. Like I really treasure that now, and I love going to the gym. And she was like, now I want to start this new photography course, and I want to do things for me. And it's just seeing that, complete involvement of not just, okay, they're going to the gym and they're getting strong and they're changing their physique, but they're so confident that they're like, I'm going to make this move. I'm going to change careers. I'm going to, you know what, it's amazing. Yeah, it's
and to be able to help, but that's and like to be able to help, but like from your side, being able to help people to achieve those types of goals, like it's just brilliant. Like my wife, obviously, and you are completely right. It is a woman thing. Literally, when there's kids involved, they don't have. And I'm speaking completely honestly here, like, and that's me being obviously a man, which means that I'm shit at most things around the house. But no, like she obviously like has like does a gym in the morning time and that. But she did a Pilates, I'm saying that probably arseways, Pilates, like last week with one of our friends. And like, it was an hour, but she came home beaming, like, she loved it. She's like, I can't wait now for the next one. And it's finding, like, as you said, it's like finding that time that is there, but you just don't think it's there.
Yeah, exactly.
So it is to do it, like, but you mentioned the word, and I have to talk about this, competitions. Okay.
Yes.
So, right, you last year and next year, tell us about what it is.
So it's bodybuilding, essentially, female bodybuilding. So I did my first bikini competition last year. That was my first season, and it was one of those I did when I decided to kind of go all in after coming home from Australia. I remember thinking, like, right, I want to go all in, obviously, with the online, but at that time I was unemployed. I hadn't got the job in the gym. Like, what can I actually do? Like, what can I control now that's going to maybe push me in that direction? Okay, the best thing I could probably do is invest in my own coach, so I actually know how then to deliver a coaching service. And I'd say that to anyone, like, the more people you invest in and you learn from, like, the more experience you're going to gain, and obviously then be able to pass that on. So we got ready for a photo shoot, and then once I did the photo shoot, I was kind of thinking, you know, I want to push a little bit harder. What's the next step? So I never really considered competing, because I think in Ireland especially, it's still very behind in terms of the bodybuilding scene. It is getting better. But compared to the likes of the UK, like, it's very much, you know, you hear bodybuilding, and everyone back home thinks, you know, oh, you're going to be one of these orange people on stage.
It's just it's typical Ireland, like
go backwards,
behind and everything.
So I just said, I'm gonna go for it. So did a whole off season and a prep to my first season last year. Didn't place in any of them, but the experience was unbelievable. And it was like that too. It was one of those moments where obviously I was disappointed I didn't place. And then I go off and I was like, okay, but it was either going to go one or two ways. It was going to be like, right, you know, fuck this, that's it, I'm done. Or now I want to be better. And I think that's with the bodybuilding, like, it gives you that kind of drive as well with everything. It's like, right, what can I now do better? Okay, they've told me to work on this, I'm going to go and come back and absolutely smash it. So we're going again. So in all season at the minute, and then I'll be competing next year around March, April, May time, start of the season. So
you'll have to come back on then, right? Okay, so that we can all wish you well. Okay, but honestly, like, the best of luck with that. Like, that's incredible. But you're right though, because it could go one of two ways. Okay, so like, here's the flip side of it, right? Imagine if you had went and placed. and then you weren't getting the same kind of feedback of this is how you can improve. Do you know what I mean? Like sometimes getting knocked down sometimes can actually help you in relation to getting back up to go again. Like, you know what I mean? But that's incredible. But you're so right. Like, imagine like Ireland having something like that. You know what I mean? Like, it's
just very much behind.
but it is like, and it's so bad because like obviously it's Ireland. We're behind on like fucking everything that everybody else does in the world. But as you said, like obviously it's dark behind you at the minute, which I'm presuming is an incredible balcony to an incredible view of an incredible city. Okay, but like, you know, I mean, you're not living here anymore. Like, how's life in Doha? How is life over there?
Yeah, it's great, and it's I think because I've been here since 2015. Like, obviously the gap between things, but like it's come on so much. Obviously with the World Cup and everything as well. Like things have opened up a lot more. It's not, it's not as big as Dubai. It's never going to be to that level because that's quite, touristy and whatever. But yeah, like, and that's the thing. Sometimes like everyone has bad days and everyone you can complain about whatever, and then I literally have to take it down. Like you're sitting. As you said, like you're sitting on a balcony with a laptop in front of you, helping people look with the sun, like you can't really complain. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, it is nice. Now it has its pros and cons. I definitely do enjoy getting home every few months as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's definitely not the worst. I can't complain.
And what was it like for the World Cup? Like, what was it mental?
Crazy.
Like, was it?
Well, I've never been to any other World Cup, so I can't really obviously compare. But I honestly thought it was so well organized. I think the atmosphere, and a lot of people obviously in the media back home, I think were saying the same, but like the atmosphere was just, it was so like wholesome or something.
Yeah.
It was just
because they were sober.
It was really nice. Yeah, exactly.
Because they were sober. Like,
exactly. And we went to the pubs a few nights to watch the matches, and like everyone was in there drinking and having a crack, and all of the the different teams were mingling, and it was just, I don't, like, as I said, I'm not a massive
but you were in the middle of it, like.
I was, like top fan of every team when it was on the bandwagon. But yeah, it was just really good. It was busy. The place was busy, and it had a nice atmosphere around, because Doha can sometimes be a bit like a bit quiet, or it has this like, not a lonely feel, but there's not that like hustle and bustle that you get with a normal city. So when the World Cup was on, it kind of felt like that. So it was really nice. It was just like, there was always kind of busyness and things on. So yeah, it was fab. It was nice to be here for a time.
Yeah, and like, look, you would, as you said, you would have seen like so many different people from nations, and they were all being pally, like, and that's very different from most World Cups where there's the shite that happens in it. You know what I mean? And all of that is because of alcohol. Let's be honest. And look, I'm not. I was about to say I'm an alcoholic. I like alcohol. I'm not saying this is a teetotal person, obviously, but that World Cup was actually class and even from a man who watches football every day of the week. From the football side of it, it was obviously brilliant as well. So it was like, but look, I'm so happy that like everything's going like so well for you. Like the competitions, the training, like anybody who wants to spend their own time trying to help people is somebody that I am fully on board with. Okay. Like 2 Saturdays ago, I walked for 12 hours to raise money, and I haven't changed in my build very much from 11 years ago. I'm still a bit of a fat fuck, right? So me walking for 12 hours, not built for it, but we're over $2,000 for the 2 charities I was doing it for. You know what I mean? So like it's and it's just everything like that. It all helps. You know what I mean? We all like I have a hashtag that's together stronger, because like when we all work together, we can all make great things. So we can but listen, how do people find you? You sell your absolute self right now, okay? So you can.
Instagram is probably the easiest. So as you said, Shan_shaped by Shan. Just drop me a DM, and I'm always in my DM, so I'll always get back to you with a message or a voice note if you don't mind voice notes.
True, yeah, because I cheekily slipped into the DMs, I did, as they would say, to request your attendance at a lovely podcast show with me in my kitchen and you in your balcony. This shows how our lives have changed. I'm doing a podcast show chatting to you right now with a baby monitor beside me, in case he starts to cry. way, which he hasn't done yet, which I'm very happy about. But no, Shannon, thank you so much for coming on. And I mean that. You're doing incredible things, and you should be very, very proud of what you're at. And I hope your entire family and everybody knows that you are. No, look, I love, like, if I didn't know you from 11 years ago when we just quickly worked together and had great crack, yours would just be, like you were saying, it would just be another fitness page. You know what I mean? Like, it would just be another one. But when you have that connection, you actually want to see what's on it. And again, anybody listening to this interview going, but Pecco, she's a female coach. Why are you watching her videos? That's not what I mean, right?
Everybody.
Everybody's welcome to. I'm not going to go through 2,837 followers, but they're not all women, right? So they're not, okay? But no, Shannon, look, honest to God, hey, thank you so much, and best of luck with everything in the future.
No, pleasure. Thank you so much. It was great catching up.